explain to you in this. Yo, what the fuck is going on, everybody? Bitcoin all-time high. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go, dude. Looking good, feeling good. Prices are up. Everyone should be happy, but of course not. Most people are still fucking miserable, but that's okay. You know, that's okay that they're miserable. We can't do anything about them being miserable. People are going to be miserable no matter what. If you go through my DMs, you would swear Bitcoin is trading at fucking $10,000. People will always find a way to bitch and moan. But I hope the majority of you guys are fucking enjoying this new all-time high, because it's something that's pretty special. It doesn't happen that very often. Usually every few years you get to enjoy this. And I mean, a new all-time high after already making six-figure Bitcoin just like 6-7 months ago is just chef's kiss. Absolutely unbelievable. So listen, guys, I'm pretty happy overall with how I played the majority of this move. I missed this last little leg, but you know, that's okay. I don't give a fuck. I still own Bitcoin. I still own crypto. What I'm most happy about is, if you've been watching these streams for the last few months, you know, we were looking to build exposure down here. And we did that. And we did the same thing on equities. We believed that there was an opportunity presented by the tariff stuff where, hey, even though this tariff stuff seems fucking awful, the Liberation Day announcement basically was at the bottom. And it's been up only ever since. So I hope you guys are printing. I hope you guys are making money. I hope you're feeling good. I hope the sun is fucking shining and your bags are pumping. With that being said, let's get into the fucking charts. Let's talk about what's happened. Let's talk about what's next, right? Because that's what I'm sure many of you are wondering. Are the altcoins going to go next? Is Bitcoin going to continue higher? What's going to happen? So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts as always, and then we'll open up the floor to any questions. This is the first time I've ever streamed on Twitter. I don't know how it works. So if there's a live chat on Twitter, I don't know how to find it. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm closer to fucking 40 than I am to fucking, 30 almost. So I'm a bit of a boomer. But if you've got questions and you want to ask them, go into the chat on Twitch or on fucking YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer it, okay? So we've got a fresh all-time high on Bitcoin. So if you remember the last kind of analysis that I posted on Bitcoin, we were trading right here. We had made this retest of the highest monthly closure. I know a lot of you, why is this a key level? Does it seem like a key level now? I would venture to say, hell yeah, it does. Okay, so we held this highest monthly close level, and we formed that fresh 12-hour demand right there. And I'd mark this off, and based on that weekend move that we had, right? Everyone was like, Trabuco is back in the charts, right? Whatever the company was called, fucking Exacerbate Capital or whatever, and it was a fucking anagram, whatever the fuck it is, for Alameda, right? But I didn't really love just the move, right, where we took the high and we immediately retested. So I personally chose not to long. That coupled with the fact that stocks, I believe, are due for a bit of a pullback, and I want to see this gap get filled. I thought Bitcoin might pull back as well, but effectively the analysis was pretty straightforward. If we're going to bounce, this is exactly where we are going to bounce from. So you had a pretty easy long with a pretty easy invalidation, and I know many of you took it, and that's a fucking fantastic trade. I think you should be happy. On the high time frame, where do we go from here? Okay, so I actually think that all-time high trades are some of the easiest trades to plan around because you have a super, super clear level to determine your bias. Okay, super clear level to determine your bias and make a decision on whether or not you want to be long or you want to be short. Okay, I know I long during the Oilers game, bro, but you can watch this stream later. You don't have to watch it right now. You know what I mean? Like you can watch it. This all stays up on my YouTube. Don't stress. I don't know if the Twitter fucking thing is active. It says there's like 3,000 people here. Fucking crazy. Anyways, so the reason I think all-time high trades are really easy to plan is because the former all-time high level becomes the level that you frame your bias on. Okay? It's that easy. So if you go and look back here at the previous all-time high, when we made a fresh all-time high here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The bias level was that 20K level. Now, you can use the wick. You can use the candle body. You can do whatever you want. But very clearly here, right, we had a move that went just slightly above all-time high, a little bit of a pullback, and then a very clear move higher. Okay? Very clear move higher. What's that telling us? It's telling us that this all-time high break is legit. It also helps that we had multiple years underneath that all-time high, and now we're back above it. Okay? If this would have faded back below the all-time high, you can consider it a false breakout. You can short. You can do whatever the hell you want, right? You can look at this on the daily chart, and you can actually see it might seem like a very fast move, but once we broke out of this, you had a clear structure break, a clear sign from the bulls that they're taking this higher, and then you had about a week here to get long with an obvious invalidation. Where's your target? Way fucking higher. That's the trade. Now, the inverse of this is what happened up here. Okay? We had our all-time high level as the bias. Okay? Go back to the daily. To me, can you visually see the difference between this breakout and this one? I think it's kind of clear, right? We had a move above, failed back below. We had another move above, and then it failed back below instantly. So even if you were a bull back here, you very much could have taken a long once it broke the all-time high, and your invalidation is whether it gets back below or not. And then now you have that bias level that you can instantly flip on. Soon as we started failing to hold above this all-time high level, hell, even if you're not shorting this, once we broke structure down here, why aren't you shorting any of this? Stop here. Target way fucking lower. Like, it's a no-brainer trade. Okay? And I know it seems like I'm oversimplifying it, but it's very rare that you actually get a setup where there's just one level that you have to look at. And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. You can look again here. Same idea. We had a clear all-time high level. Multiple attempts to get above it. Every time we failed back below, we rejected. Clear break above, retest. Even if you're not longing this, you had 1, 2, 3 at least days here. Full days. Okay, that's 3 times 24, 72. Nobody checked my math. To long with your stop below here. Target way fucking higher. So I'm treating this exact all-time high break no different. Remember, we just had an all-time high break back in January. Failed to close above. You are now bearish until we get back above here. So looking at where we are right now, here's our all-time high level. We've just breached it. If we get another big green candle here, I'm going to be looking to long any sort of low time frame pullback, and my invalidation will be any sort of move back below the all-time high. This works on Bitcoin. This works on stocks. It works on everything. I'll give you an example on stocks here. Okay. Once we had our all-time high break here, clear, decisive move through the all-time high. Any sort of pullback, you're looking to get long with your stop below all-time high. Target, much higher. And it ended up fucking working, didn't it? How about here? We made an all-time high. Broke above it, but then instantly rejected, got back below. Any of this down move here, you need to be bear biased with your stop above there. So we're treating this the exact same way. You have a clear, definitive level to form your bias. The all-time high level. That's it. There's no fucking funny business. There's no magic. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. Mark out the all-time high level, and as long as we're holding above it, I think it's safe to say that you can have a bullish bias and target higher prices. If we get any sort of evidence that it's a deviation and then it gets back below, change your mind, right? One of the best things about having this type of mindset is it allows you to be fluid. You don't get stuck in the fucking crypto Twitter retarded perma-bull, perma-bear bullshit. I'm here to make money. I assume you are here to make money. That means we have to recognize that you can be right or wrong. Look at Zoran, for example. Zoran crushed a lot of this up move, but then he was bearish into the highs. But you know what he's good at? He's good at admitting that he's wrong. Flip your bias. When you're presented with new information, flip your bias. If you were bearish down here, when we reclaimed this old quarterly low, what is your reason for continuing to be bearish? When the market shows its hand, believe it. It's not going to be right every time. You don't need to be right every time. You only need to be right like half the time, not even, to make money. Okay? But when you have new information, you've got to be willing to change your mind. Okay? Don't be stubborn and be like, well, I needed Bitcoin to correct and it fucking didn't. I told you guys, if you remember, that I thought this is an area where we could see a lower high. This is a bearish retest level, right? We had our weekly structure break. You remember this setup? Because I longed with you guys down here, but my initial target was right here. Because I said, hey, this is the technical bearish retest level. We had 1 week of rejection, and then we absolutely chatted through the level. So am I going to just sit there and continue to short because I thought we were going to reject here? Or am I going to accept that actually we're strong and we're going to keep going up? I now need to flip back to being bullish. That's all it is. You need to detach yourself from your fucking ego. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? I've done both. I promise you, making money is way fucking cooler than looking cool and being right on fucking Twitter. Okay? Twitter is not a real place. These are not real people. Very, very many of these people are like people that you would never in your life engage with IRL. Ever. Like there's some brilliant people on Twitter. There's some absolute retards, but none of that should affect your focus, which is to make fucking money. That's all we want to do. We want to make fucking money. So if the market is breaching all-time high and putting big green candles above all-time high, are you going to be looking for every opportunity in the world to short? I'd say no. That's probably pretty fucking stupid. I think you're much better off understanding that we now have a clear level to operate on. And if the market shows us that it is going to be strong through this all-time high level, I think you look for any opportunity you can to long. And if for some reason we get something like this, then go ahead and short. It's awesome to be like, oh my God, dude, I shorted the top. But how many times did the person who was trying to catch, like the top here, oh, they shorted here, they shorted here, they shorted here, they shorted here. Haha, I fucking told you so. Like, fuck, don't be that person. Don't be that person. I promise you it is not worth it. Focus on making money. These all-time high trades have a very, very clear, Very, very clear bias level that they give to you. They spoon feed you. Use it. So that's the level to be watching. You don't need to worry about any of the other fucking levels on the chart, in my opinion, right now. Watch the all-time high level. Now, can we look at it in terms of a monthly close? I do think that this level is relevant on the monthly, but the monthly takes a very long time to play out. So if you're trying to figure out what's going to happen today, tomorrow, the monthly chart is not doing you a lot of favors. That will be relevant at the monthly close. If we, for some reason, retrace this entire move and close the monthly before here, that's bad. But let's not assume that that's going to happen. Remember, it's if this, then that. If we get strength through all-time high, I'm looking for any sort of intraday dips to long towards higher prices. If we deviate above all-time high and get back below, I'm looking to short with my stop above that deviation. That is it. Okay? This is no different than your Monday's range trades. This is no different than the quarterly range trades. Remember what we discussed yesterday on stream about the quarterly ranges? We took out the quarterly low. Why was I bullish on Bitcoin near the low? We took out the prior quarter's low and we put in a weekly sweep. What became our target? The prior's quarter high. We've now run the entire quarterly range. And I told you guys, this happens over and over and over again. Took out the prior quarter low. Target, prior quarter high. Took out the quarterly high. Target, right? The quarterly low. Took out the quarterly low. Target, the quarterly high. Took out the quarterly low. Target, the quarterly high. Over and over and over again. And it's just a bias level. So when I mark out that quarterly low on the chart, it's the exact same trade as the all-time high trade, just inversed, okay? So if you look at the all-time high trade, I'm saying, hey, this is your bias level above or below. How was this trade that we took any different? We had all the opportunity in the world to break down below this old quarterly low. We traded below it, and we got back above it immediately. And then we even broke structure to the upside. You can go find this chart. I posted it on April 13th. This exact setup. I said, if we close above here, it's buy the dip mode. Why? It was a failed breakdown. You now have your bias. You're wrong below there. So if I invert this chart, this is no different than the all-time high idea. Here's our attempted breakout. It failed. It broke structure to the downside. You now are short bias with your stop there. So use the all-time high level and this logic that I'm sharing with you the exact same fucking way, okay? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. I just fucking yelled at you for 15 straight fucking minutes. I'm just hyped up. I'm hyped up. I love all-time high. I've been in this goddamn space for so goddamn long. I saw Bitcoin trade as low as like $80. And you might ask yourself, Maine, you saw Bitcoin trade at $80. What the fuck are you still doing here? And I ask myself the same question in the mirror at night before I go to bed. And do you want to know what the answer is? Do you want to know what the answer is, guys? Because I'll tell you. I'll tell you the fucking answer. Eero says, hate from Australia. That shit kills me. I hate you from Canada, bro. The answer is I fucking bought altcoins like an idiot. The longer you're here, the longer you are in crypto, the more of a Bitcoin maxi you become. I'm not saying you can't long altcoins. I'm not saying you can't make money on alts. You absolutely can. We've seen people make 8 figures in the trenches this cycle. Unbelievable. But you have to rotate into Bitcoin. The reason there's people who are miserable right now, even though Bitcoin is at all-time high, is because they don't own any fucking Bitcoin. You're in this space, you need to own Bitcoin. So over the last 5 years, I've focused way more of my portfolio on being Bitcoin centric. I have money that I'll play with other shit, but you, at the end of the day here, at the end of the day, guys, you want to hold Bitcoin. If you're just starting out, I know Bitcoin's 110K for one. Try and get to 1. Try and get to 1 Bitcoin and then work your way up from there. 10 Bitcoin, in my opinion, one day is generational wealth. Can you get there? I think you can. You know a guy that fumbled on Peanut 8 figures? Is that guy me? Yeah, what? I'm hyped up. We're having a good day. It's at all-time high, and you just got to bring that back. You just got to needle me like that, bro? Come on now, dog. All right. So I hope that that explanation makes sense. So what I don't want you guys doing is trying to be a hero, trying to short the top. I know it might feel really cool on twitter.com if you can short the top and then post it to absolutely no one and go, ha, 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 I fucking told you so. Nobody cares. Focus on making money, taking high probability opportunities. That's your goal. We're degenerate gamblers, but we're doing so in a hopefully somewhat risk managed way where we're taking plus EV opportunities. We're using educated guesses to stack the deck in our favor as much as possible. We're playing blackjack, but we're playing it by the fucking book to the best of our ability, okay? Satoshi Snitcher says, I left BTC at 76K when I lost all my money, but now I'm back at all-time high. Let's fucking go. Jeffrey says, Maine, if you leave CT, I will unalive myself. That is crazy. You've got, I guess, less than a year to live then, my friend. Feels like my group chats are ghost towns, man. Been around since 2016, and we used to fantasize about a regulatory environment like this. Govs validating crypto. Love the energy. Keep it coming. Yeah, I mean, guys, sometimes we have to take that helicopter view, right? And just be like, where the fuck are we, dude? The president has a meme coin. The government is pro-crypto. They're peeling back regulations. The institutions are buying. All the things that we wanted and dreamed of are here, and prices at all-time high. So if you're a miserable cunt right now, you must be one of the fucking most miserable people on the planet, right? The problem is so many people are like, they talk, but they don't do. They're not action takers, right? They're just talkers. So they comment under someone's post when they get a trade wrong. They say, oh my God, look what this guy did. Oh my God, this guy bought this meme coin and made money. This guy did this and he lost money. But they're not doing shit. They're pocket watching everyone else. While their own pockets are empty as fuck. I want you guys moving in silence, filling your fucking pockets by taking action. The favorite messages I get from you guys are when you're showing me trades that you're taking. Oh, dude, I took this Monday's range trade and I fucking made money. It's like, dude, hell yeah, brother. That's the shit we like to see. So what do we think happens next on Bitcoin? Quite honestly, I don't really see any reason to get overly bearish here. I mean, we just peaked above all-time high. I don't think there's any reason to short here. Could there be some sort of pullback? For sure. Do I think you long that? Yes. So I think we've got fresh demand here, dude. So the most shallow pullback is going to be this one, like right into this little level right here. And that could happen today. That could happen overnight. That could happen tomorrow. But if we get some sort of shallow pullback here, I think this is probably worth a long, right? Like a lot of people creaming the shorts. This is what, a 3% drop? Not even? 2% drop is enough to make people on Twitter be like false all-time high break. Like that's how dumb people are. So I think if you get a little bit of a pullback here, it's probably worth a long. If we lose this level, so if we do this and then break below here, I think that opens up a door for a sub 100K move. And then great. That gives us an opportunity to long lower. Remember, this is how we're framing this. We're bullish right now. I want to look for opportunities to long. The only reason to short, in my opinion, is if we get something like this, sure, you could take a little short here. Or we get some sort of blow-off candle where there's billions in liquidations. This is not a top forming. Peaking above all-time high on a fucking Wednesday night is not how a top forms. If we get some sort of crazy big candle where there's a ton of short liquidations and then it closes with a big wick at the top, by all means, maybe it's time to start thinking, okay, a larger correction is going to fucking come. But I think if you're shorting this, you're trying to pick up pennies in front of, like, while tripping over dollars in front of a fucking bulldozer. You know what I mean? So I think look for opportunities to long the dip, and unless structure breaks or we get some sort of big blow off the top to the upside, I think you focus on being bullish. Now, can we go down here? Yeah, but again, I'm focused on being bullish. If we get an opportunity to bid sub 100K, I think it's probably worth taking, right? There's going to be people who are shorting this. They're shorting this. They're going to short this. Then they're going to short this, and they're going to make money, right? And then it's going to do this and go to like 150K. And they're going to be like, oh, Matt, but I caught a 10% short. It's like, okay, you're the smartest kid on the fucking short bus, right? It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I think you want to focus on opportunities and levels and reasons to be long unless proven otherwise. Price trading above all-time high is a good thing. So unless we get some sort of rejection or some sort of blow-off, let's assume it's going to continue to trade higher. You got to have very strong opinions, hold them very loosely, right? There's new information that comes out. You got to be willing to switch. How many people, I wanted us to go here. Remember? I bought here, and I said I have more bids down here. At what point, when price starts doing this, do you realize that this level might not come? Like, eventually you have to have, just because you're buying spot or whatever, it's still a trade. Like, where's this idea that we're going to cut? Because if I think price is going to come down here, I'm bearish. Even though I might not be actively short, I'm holding on to dollars thinking I'll get filled down here. Well, at what point is that idea wrong? Is it once it reclaims this? Is it once it breaks above these highs here? Is it up here? Like, at some point, you got to say, okay, I was wrong. Don't let yourself sit on the sidelines and miss the entire 2-month-long fucking 40% at this point, 50% damn near rally by being stubborn. And this is no different. Like, if you're bearish, at how high does price have to go until you admit you're wrong? Or what does price have to do? So you still have to have those invalidations in your mind of where you might be wrong. And again, separate your fucking ego, dude. Anyways, I realize why I'm getting so fucking sweaty in here. It's this new fucking light. It's like blaring at me. It's like the goddamn sun. Anyways, so yeah, what's up? Like, is everyone doing good, man? I just went on a fucking 30-minute fucking rant. My Streamlabs says there's 6,300 people watching this. That seems unhinged, unheard of. But maybe that's because of Twitter. I don't know how accurate that number is. But hey, welcome to the fucking show. What's the question? I've been here for like a year. I'm a BTC maxi. Trade shitcoins and buy BTC. 100%. But like, let's say you like Solana and you're like, Sol has been the trade of the cycle, which you could argue it has been. This was the Solana cycle. This. So relative to Bitcoin over the last 5 years, Sol has underperformed for the majority of time. Not all the time. There's obviously a period in time here where it outperformed pretty fucking hard. But like the entire Sol from $8 to $300, the trenches, Sol Memecoin super cycle, that is this. And it's underperformed Bitcoin en masse. Right? So your goal, in my opinion, as a trader, is if you're in altcoins, your goal is to try and capture these periods of outperformance. And realize that most coins against Bitcoin are on the fucking roller coaster of doom. But that doesn't mean that you can't make money and you can't use them as a tool to buy more Bitcoin. Right? ETH BTC. Like, imagine being in ETH Maxi for the last 5 years. Like, you had a period of outperformance, but then otherwise you're getting shit kicked. Does that mean you can't trade ETH? You can't make money on ETH? Of course not. But the goal is to be bullish on ETH during these types of moves and be in Bitcoin for the majority of the time, because over the long time frame, right, it underperforms. Dude, my fucking camera's is bullshit. This thing's brand new. Anyways, we'll just let it fucking cool down for a few minutes and I'll rip it back on, boys. Sorry. Up 27R this month. Let's fucking go, dude. That's incredible. ETH is ripping right now. Yeah, like ETH is looking pretty good. Coming off of that 12-hour order block. Remember what I talked about in Monday's stream when a bunch of you were taking the ETH short because it ran Monday's high? And I said, you've got to remember the high time frame context. ETH is coming into demand, and it just put in a bullish SFP right into that demand level. So that Monday's range trade is probably lower probability than normal. You can't just take those Monday's range trades in a vacuum. This camera's hot as balls, dude. I don't know. We'll see how long it fucking lasts. It's just I'm bringing too much fucking heat, man. Kisses from Mongolia. I'm a married man. Stop. My wife will come in here and yell at you, dude. So, like, to me, I said this on stream. I said I would not be surprised if all of you guys get stopped out on this fucking trade because it's just kind of counter trend. What if I turn this off? Because this thing is giving off hella heat, and I open up the blinds. Doesn't look as good, but it might have to do for now. I'm a little bit dark mode. So I think a really good segue from here, outside of like, yeah, the coins are going up, is like, what do you guys think is going to happen for alts? Because one of the trickiest things now is like, when do you rotate into alts? I think there's going to be a lot of altcoins that probably do pretty well with Bitcoin going up. And one of the most common questions I get is which ones? And so I made a tweet today, and I was met with the fucking screams of 10,000 retarded people. Oh, altcoins haven't gone up. Altcoins are wrecked. It's like, bro, at some point, you have to recognize that maybe the alt season, the alt outperformance that you've been waiting for, it's there. It's just not happening to your coins because your coins suck. Like, you have to be able to, again, come to terms with that. Maybe the coins you hold suck ass. Fartcoin went to multiple billions of dollars. Popcat went to multiple billions of dollars. WIF went to multiple billions of dollars. Sol went from $8 to $300. Okay? Maybe this altcoin season, these alts going up that you're waiting on and you're so angry about is happening, and it's just not in your coins, and the coins that you hold suck. And the sooner you realize that, the more money you're going to save yourself. The problem with maximalism outside of anything other than Bitcoin is eventually it's going to go to zero. Pretty much everything goes to zero against Bitcoin over a long enough period of time. And so there's going to be people who are like, well, dude, I'm still a fucking stinky dinky Link Marine, right? Like, okay, man. Like, yes, Link had an incredible run, but this was 5 years ago. So for the last 5 years, even though it might have gone up in USD value, you've lost against Bitcoin. And there's going to be some fucking retard who comes into the chat and goes, oh, but Maine, because it's going to do this eventually. Oh, Maine, I told you Link fucking tripled. You're an idiot. I'm like, bro, you've been telling me you're a stink marine since 2020. So I'm hoping that that huge pump here, which probably results in this, got you to break even. Right? Eventually, you got to realize that you spent 5 years in the wrong coin. Try not to be that guy. Like, what coins are proving that they go up the most when the market is bullish? Fartcoin's pretty goddamn bullish coin. Wouldn't you say? We drew this out on Monday's stream. And it's pushing up again. We were talking about Fartcoin here. This looks pretty good. Hype, another one. Like, why are you holding some dog shit that doesn't go up when the market's bullish when you can hold shit that does go up? Right? And it's because people get like pilled. And what happens is they make money on a coin one time, and then they make that coin their entire personality, and they have the inability to ever let go of it. And it costs you money. I don't care if Link goes up. I don't. Because even if Link goes from here and it goes up to, I don't know, fucking, like it goes up to here. Like it goes up to, it does this. Fucking goes on a ripper, bro. They're going to say, dude, Link just 2x'd. I don't care. You underperformed pretty much everything. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people struggle with that ability to let go. XRP has the same type of fandom. I mean, XRP had this crazy move this cycle, right? It had a crazy move, but XRP is a similar coin where it's like, okay, but I mean, you could have had XRP back in 2018 and it's at the same price as it is now. Bitcoin was $3,000 back in 2018. So even though it's gone up, unless you bought XRP during this brief period of time, zooming out, for the most part, you're getting smoked by Bitcoin. Are there periods where it outperforms? Of course. Little periods of time. But on the whole, like you're getting dogged, right? And so a lot of people have the inability to let go of their fucking bag bias. And so you got to be very careful online when you see people constantly posting about a coin every time it goes up, and ask yourself, like, is this coin bullish? Do they know what they're talking about? Or are they just holding a heavy-ass bag and their fucking analysis is imbued with that bag bias? You like that fucking word? Imbued? Fucking imbued in their bias. I surprise myself sometimes. So, what can I say? Let's see. Let's look at WIF. WIF is a really good example. Like, I'm sure there's been a lot of people talking about the hat being on. And maybe it is back on, right? But what has WIF done versus Bitcoin? Where has your money been better spent since basically May of last year? So for the entire year, you've underperformed Bitcoin. Now, could we be entering a period of outperformance? Sure, right? But WIF could go to new all-time highs in dollars and still never make another all-time high against Bitcoin. Right? ETH is the perfect demonstration of this. This is ETH going to all-time high in 2021. ETH made an all-time high in dollars here. It hit like almost $5,000. And I imagine most people were like, oh my God, ETH hit $5,000. But relative to Bitcoin, like it didn't even come close to making a new high. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your coins and you're wondering what the fuck's going on. When alt season, when this, I personally think there's still time for a proper alt season, which involves Bitcoin dominance dying. Okay? This is alt season. This is alt season. This is not alt season. This is a Bitcoin dominated run with brief periods of outperformance from a very select few altcoins. And if your altcoins are not one of the ones that managed to do well during this period of time, you got to go look in the mirror and ask yourself, like, is the market retarded or is it maybe me? And more often than not, you in fact are retarded, not the market. Okay? The market can do what it's going to do a lot longer than you're going to be able to stay solvent. Weren't I calling for 70K the other day? No. Maine, how do you feel about the divergence between the stock market and crypto right now? I think it exists. I think it's something that if the stock market's going to pull back a little bit, like maybe we're going to come fill that gap to 5,700, we could see a bit of a correction on Bitcoin. Again, though, like the correlation is not always one-to-one. There's going to be periods of time where crypto goes up and stocks go sideways, right? The biggest risk for crypto really is if we get some sort of crazy stock market correction. I'm not talking like, you know, a one down to here and then it just goes to new highs again. I'm talking like a serious correction back down into the low 5,000s. That would give me cause for concern. But yes, there's a divergence right now. Bitcoin is making higher highs. The stock market, for now, is making lower highs. So what would be most ideal for Bitcoin is the stock market's pullback is relatively shallow. So I like this area here. And then we see. But again, I'm primarily going to be focused on the asset that I'm trading. I think a lot of people get real horny trying to look at like 10 different fucking charts. Oh, the stocks are doing this, the dollar's doing this. It matters, and it can absolutely help you with your analysis, but you're way better off making the primary driver of your analysis the actual chart that you're trading. If you're trading Bitcoin, use the Bitcoin chart to make your decisions. And if stocks are going to nuke, the Bitcoin chart is going to do something that tells you, okay, we're actually going to go down, and then you can act, right? Follow Dave the Wave. His prediction have been on point for years. Bro, no shilling other people in my chat. What do you think this is? Fuck, my camera turned off again? This thing's a $5,000 piece of shit. Need someone to come here. I got a job opening, guys. I need someone to be a certified camera cooler. You just stand behind my desk and you just fucking blow cold air onto my camera for an hour and a half while I live stream. It pays not well at all. It's slave-like conditions. It's not going to look good on your resume. And you'll be lucky if you even get enough time off to eat or see your friends and family. If you want to apply, though, send me a DM. You had me at slave. Is this the guy who cried on stream about ETH going down? What are you talking about, bro? Those are the guys who were crying on stream were what are they called? The bankless guys. Those guys are absolute fucking losers, by the way. Absolute fucking loser con artists. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? I've been yelling, I've been yapping, I've been spitting. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to fucking know? Could be because you're streaming on X as well. No, I just think that this new camera is like fucking super powerful and it just gets really fucking hot. And my editor warned me that this could be a thing, so I'm just going to need to figure something out. When to sell everything. AZTV, you think I don't remember you? You tell me, bro. When are we getting out? When are we fucking selling? The weather out west has been pretty fucking gay. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like kind of been rainy and gray still. I'm still waiting for summer. Do I think altcoins can run after BTC tops? Yeah, I do. I think a really good chart to look at is this. So you go total 3 minus USDT and you divide it by Bitcoin. This is effectively alt BTC as a chart. So this is alts BTC as a whole, okay? This is Altseason, right? Like that's Altseason right there. This is when alts do well. So we need this chart to rip. That's going to be a good sign that alts are fucking ripping. Go look at November 2024 to December 2024. What happened to altcoins? Go look at what happened to Bitcoin dominance during that brief window in time, right? Remember this? This is when WIF went to like $4 and stuff. So if you want to know when alts are going to go, you can use these charts to help you figure out the timing on that. This is a Sony ZV-E1. It's fucking apparently quite nice, but yeah. I got completely liquidated. It's my first year. Should I give up? No, bro. Never fucking give up. Never fucking surrender. Never give up. Okay? You got to get back on the fucking horse, man. Every fucking old adage and fucking saying is absolutely true, man. You only give up. You only lose when you quit. Don't quit. Do I think BTC Dom keeps going up? Yes, I don't think BTC dominance is over quite yet. If Bitcoin's going to make like a god candle till 120, I think this thing makes like another push towards like 70%. Maine told me to fight back on Twitter when I round-tripped 330K. Took 7K to 450K in the last 2 months. Let's fucking go, dude. I remember you, bro. I was talking some smack to you. But I was trying to motivate you, my dog. You called me some very rude words. You called me some very nasty words. But I knew it was coming out of a place of emotion. And I knew you could fight back, dog. So I'm proud of you. Let's fucking go. That's a 7K to 450K is a lot of money. Let's go. Hype 3-day close. I don't know what else you guys want me to say about Hype. I've been telling you guys Hype has looked good on every stream for the last 2 months. Every time Hype has been brought up, I said it's bullish here. I said if it reclaims 17, it goes to 24. If it holds 24, it's going to 31. I don't know what else I can say. It looks good. This is one of the best coins of the cycle. I think Hype has a very much like flywheel effect with the wealth generation event with the airdrop. 2, it's an actual really good working revenue producing project. It reminds me, to be honest with you, of like BNB. Like, why does BNB just go up over time? Why does this not look like 99% of other altcoins, which after they do this, they go to 0? It's because this is Binance, right? You're betting on CZ. You're betting on crime. So to me, Hype, there's actual utility there. Imagine holding some stupid fucking retarded coin that you're probably holding when you could hold coins like BNB and Hype that have proven over time they're reflexive when the market's bullish. They make money. Like, you know what I mean? These are the conversations you have to have with yourself. You've got to be ruthless with your capital management. Do not fall in love with your fucking bag. Trust me, bro. I missed out on so much money in the 2020 cycle because I thought LTC was going to go to like $1,000 because it did well in 2017. And I was like, okay, like this is the next coin. And it just underperformed. Did I make money? Yes, but I made way less than if I would have just been bullish on Bitcoin or on ETH. This cycle, imagine being like, okay, ETH is number 2. No matter what, it's going to 10K. And you're all in ETH, and then you underperform Solana and Bitcoin. Be ruthless, bro. Be ruthless. You can fall in love with Bitcoin. You can fall in love with Bitcoin. New here. What's your style? What do you do on here? Perps means investor trading. I'm mostly a high time frame to medium time frame swing trader, and I use price action. And I'm a gambling addict, of course. And I have a slightly bigger than average neck, but I don't know if I believe the hype. I think people just like to make fun of me. I'm struggling to find trades with the H12 H1 system. I recently started using it like a couple weeks ago with the IMG indicator, but I haven't found any trades. I'm not sure what I'm missing. Well, bro, I mean, here's one on ETH right here. ETH is bullish. H12 order block. H12 sweep. There's your sweep. There's your reclaim. Like, there's been tons. There's been tons of trades. You just have to look for them, right? You got to look for them. Is this not just an H12? Is this not an H12, H1 right here on Bitcoin? Retested the order block, swept out the lows, gave you a break in structure, pulled back. It didn't retest the actual breaker, but it retested the fair value gap. When the market's super aggressive to the upside, sometimes you have to zoom in, right? Because if you look at this on the 3-day, right, you might look at this and say, how the hell do I get an entry? Right? Like it's just going straight up. But if you zoom in and say, okay, well, I'm actually going to look on the 12-hour now. Okay, there's now been clear ranges, range breakout, retest, range, breakout, retest, big old range, deviate the bottom, breakout. So if the market is parabolic, up or down, zooming in will give you more information, more candles to look at to potentially find a setup. The H12, H1 system is going to work best in a ranging environment, and than it is in a super aggressive trending environment. So yeah, you can use the H4 in the H1. I would use the H4 and then like the M30 or M15 instead. Okay, this is going to be an interesting point here from Sophian. Institutionals are rotating their BTC profits to crypto equities this time. They're not interested in altcoins. So this is a very interesting point. I don't know if I agree with it 100%. Effectively, what he's saying is you remember that chart that everyone would post? Phase 1 is BTC, right? Then phase 2 is your large caps, right? And then phase 3 is your medium caps and then small caps. And this was the flow of money. Bitcoin pumps, then large caps, then medium caps, and it was like this trickle-down effect. And what he's effectively saying is Bitcoin's going up, but because we have so much institutional money now at play in the market, instead of trickling down into altcoins, it's going into crypto equities or other shit. I think there's some truth to that. The flow of money is different than it has been in prior cycles because we have arguably strong hands. Look at Saylor. Saylor owns multiple percentages of the total Bitcoin supply. He's not selling that to buy altcoins, right? So I agree with that sentiment in that way. However, the fact that we had like the people acting like there's people who say this is the Bitcoin cycle, people who said this is the Memecoin super cycle. Both things can be true. This goes back to my earlier point. People like altcoins have just been shit. Your altcoins have been shit. Your coins suck. Okay, we had Whiff, 4 bill, right? Popcat, 2 bill, Fart, 2 bill. We had the collective AI memes for their run. I think there was like 15 billion for all those AI memes. Zero Bear Goat. You combined all the AI memes. Those all ripped, right? So those all fucking flew. We had coins like Trump go to what, 80 fucking billion? So it's not that altcoins haven't gone. It just maybe isn't the altcoins that you wanted or in the same way as last time. And that's the problem I think a lot of people have. They say, well, Doge went from 0 to fucking 40 billion. Therefore, an altcoin this time has to do the same thing. We have so much more dispersion across alts, but it's not like there's necessarily more money going into them. When there was less options in the past, that allowed singular coins to maybe reach some of these crazy market cap numbers. That same ball of money is more spread out now. We have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of alts now. And if you add them all up and you look at like the total market cap of alts, it's not necessarily that much bigger than it was prior. But you're like, well, none of these coins went to fucking 40 billion like SHIB did or whatever. Well, maybe that's because there's fucking a million SHIB derivatives now because of things like Pump Fund. Because of, it used to be ETH, and then it was SOL, and then it was BNB, and then it was fucking whatever other fucking chain they tried to force down your throat. Fucking Base. You got to remember, a few cycles ago, there was hundreds of coins, not tens of thousands. Sorry, this camera just keeps overheating. It's really pissing me off. Anyways. Yeah, Luna was crazy. Yeah, Bowden went to 1 billion. Goat went to 1 billion. Peanut went to 1 billion. When you start adding these things up, a lot, like the combined of some of these meme coins, we hit some crazy Doge Sheeb-like levels. But the game changes. It's not always the same. Are the participants getting more sophisticated? Maybe a little bit, but I just think that there's more options. There's more casinos to gamble in. You know, it used to be like, this is the place you trade alts. This is the place you trade perps. Now you have so much optionality, it's kind of just hard to compare. Moodang looking decent for a long, just swept Monday's low. Let's look at the fucking big old fat fucking hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless. The fuck is that from? You ever just have shit in your head and you're like, what the fuck? Okay, this is another quarterly range trade, right? I want you to go through your charts and see how many coins ran Q4 of 2025's low and then have now, or not, sorry, Q4 2025, sorry, that ran Q1 of 2025's low and have now run Q1 of 2025's high. I'm telling you, you're going to see dozens of coins that have done this exact same thing. Okay? And if you understand the logic behind, okay, it ran the quarterly low, reclaimed, now my target is the quarterly high, you can apply that to any time frame. This could be a weekly candle. This could be a daily candle. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge, Monday's range, motherfucker. This could be any candle. It could be a yearly candle. Okay, look at the yearly candle on Bitcoin here. I would not be surprised if at some point in the future, we run the low of this year after taking out the high of this year. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a super, like, this is you want hopium for ETH? Is we ran last year's low, and maybe we can get back to last year's high. But anyways, back to Moodang. I'm fucking digressing. Nobody likes a digressor. Nobody. I'm just like turning this camera on and off when in reality I should probably leave it off, but I don't care. I don't care. Okay, Moodang. He says Moodang he thinks is a good long right now. He said it took out Monday's low. And the reason I keep saying he said is because if I give you an idea and it doesn't work out, I want to be able to shift the blame to someone who is not me. I'm passing the buck. I'm not taking accountability for my actions. Something I learned from the Zoomers. Okay, so let's clean this up a bit here. I'm going to turn off the mid, and I'm turn off the monthly, and I'm going to turn off the yearly. So he says, is this a good long right now? I'm not personally going to long this. That being said, if you wanted to long, right, your stop is there and your target's there. So if you think that this coin's going to go up, I think the risk reward is not bad, at least to the range high. It's like, you know, if you got long closer to the range low, it'd be a little better. But even from right here to the range high is just under 2R. So it's not a terrible risk reward. So if you're bullish on Moodang, you think that this is a higher low, the risk reward is there, and you have a very clear invalidation. If you're wrong, if you're right, excuse me, we should not go below here. So that's where your stop goes. Simple as that. Right? This is no different than any sort of level reclaim trade. The inval is clear. It traded below the lows. It's back above. That's where your idea is wrong. So remember, if this trade works out, I will post it on Twitter and I'll say, dude, I called this trade on stream. I'm him. If it doesn't work out, this was suggested to me by some fucking retard in the chat, and I was doing him a favor looking at it. I never thought it was going to work out anyways, and I take no accountability. You understand? See how this works? Hype has been ripping. Hype be ripping. Indeed. Indubitably, my friend. Yeah, I mean, hype has been ripping. Like, I don't know if Monday's range was very good this week. Like here, Monday's high ended up being support. Didn't ever take the lows. I don't think we took the lows on a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. Whereas last week, Monday's range worked on everything. Someone said, look at whiff. He thinks it looks good. Yeah, I mean, it's like everything... Like, you want to, right now, your job is if you think Bitcoin's going to trade higher, you want to go find altcoins that are potentially setting up to catch up, right? So if you look at ETH, for example, it has still failed to make a higher high. So if Bitcoin makes another leg up and then chills a little bit, very good chance that ETH has a catch-up leg. And you can look at ETH BTC and say, okay, well, that actually makes a lot of sense because ETH BTC is retesting demand after a huge move up. And if Bitcoin cools off and this rallies again, ETH might have another period of outperformance. I think for the majority of you, early on in your trading career, the primary focus for you should be to trade the chart that you're trying to trade. If you're in a Bitcoin trade, just look at the Bitcoin chart. If you're in an ETH trade, just look at the ETH chart. Once you are more comfortable and you have a little bit more experience, at that point, I think you can start layering in some other stuff. Do cross-market analysis. Look at, if you want to long Bitcoin, or ETH, excuse me, look at Bitcoin, look at ETH BTC. Make sure that you're longing it at an appropriate time where it might outperform. If you want a long Sol, compare ETH to Sol, Sol to BTC, etc. And you can do this with any meme coin. If you want to know how Fartcoin looks against Ethereum, you can do Fartcoin USDT, right? Divided by Ethereum USDT. You've now created a Fartcoin ETH chart because if you know fractions, you have Fart USD and then you have ETH USD. And these cancel each other out. So now you're looking at Fartcoin over ETH coin. So this is no different than looking at ETH BTC. So if this was ETH BTC, you would say, oh man, ETH is crushing Bitcoin right now because the numerator is going up more than the denominator, meaning the fraction is going up. Okay? So this is Fartcoin versus ETH. So actually, this tells you that Fartcoin has been shitting on, get it? Fartcoin shitting on ETH. Do you get it? Do you get the joke that I just made? It's been shitting on ETH, and that's accurate. And it can be represented here. And so if you're trying to decide what coin to hold, like you should be doing this with all your bags, bro. The baseline thing that you need to compare your bag with, I used to do it with BTC, ETH, and Sol. But ETH has just been such a piece of shit, you could probably get away with ignoring it. But whatever your coin is, look at it versus Bitcoin. Look at it versus ETH. Look at it versus Sol. And if you're holding a coin and its pair is going down versus all of these, you'd be way better off holding one of these three than you are holding whatever piece of dog shit you're holding. You understand? XMR, that's one I want to look at. I'm going to let the camera cool for a second because I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot and I'm getting heavy. What were we looking at? XMR, dude. XMR has been going bonkers, bro. What's the best XMR chart? Maybe this one? Dude, XMR has been going insane. So XMR is like the true privacy coin. And holy, bro, in the last 3 months, up 84%. Again, you're holding some dog shit. You could be holding XMR and committing financial crimes because no one knows who you are. Do I look at any macro stuff? Like, yeah, some. But again, I think you're better off focusing on the chart you're trading than worrying about the macro, right? Focus on the chart you're trading. But the macro has an effect for sure. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, this like, I mean, look at this versus BTC, dude. So XMR USD, okay, almost at all-time high. XMR BTC from all-time high is still down 89%. So as great as XMR is, everything eventually kneels to Bitcoin. And that's why I said earlier, Solana could go to $500 and Sol BTC never makes a new all-time high. Like it can literally do this, and that's enough for Sol to go to 500. But XMR does look good. It's been ripping, and I know some friends who hold a lot of XMR, so shout out to them. I hold zero. But yeah, this has been just like, this looks like, I think, did this not start with the Bybit hack? Like, didn't the Bybit hack happen and then they ran a lot of it through XMR? Or maybe I'm misremembering. But yeah, I don't own any of this. Where would I get involved? I mean, this is just insane upward momentum. Like, it consolidates and then just goes. It doesn't even give a retest. So if it's going to continue this pattern, you wait for it to go sideways and then you just buy the breakout maybe. Like, it just might be one of those where you never get like that deep correction. Trader Main, Fartcoin was moving up in March and never even reacted to the April sell-off in stocks. Very good indicator of risk on at the time. You know, it's quite funny because it sounds like what you're saying is hilarious, but there's some credence to Fartcoin being a leading indicator to risk on environments for the markets, which is insane. I'm sure there's some fucking suits in fucking, you know, on Wall Street being like, dude, like Fartcoin led out of the stock market bottom, and we now need to be creating some sort of fucking, get one of our quants fucking tracking Fartcoin, and they're going to go on Twitter and be like, I need to learn everything about Fartcoin, and they're going to find Dip Wheeler's page, and they're just going to be inundated with generational bottom pictures, and they're going to be so confused and be like, damn, I wasted so much of my time going to school, getting a degree in like fucking quantitative fucking math to go work at some fucking hedge fund to get outperformed by a guy named Dip Wheeler who just posts butts all the time. You know? Do I enjoy playing 1000x leverage? Who doesn't? Are you even a man if you haven't 1000x one time? Generational neck indeed. Maine is jelking when he turns the camera off. I don't know what that means, and I'm not going to look it up because it's probably gross. Shame on you. Yeah, bro. I remember tracking Fartcoin when it was at like 20 fucking cents. And it fucking, like, I remember, guys, like, if you watch these streams, go watch all of my live streams from March to April. Like, we were looking at Fartcoin, every week. They're like, dude, Fartcoin, look at Fartcoin. And I was like, it's in this demand here, And as long as it holds this demand, it's going to go up. Did I think it's going to go up this much? Of course not. But fucking A, dude. Hot air rises. Can I still watch this stream if it marks the top, or will it be deleted? I don't delete any streams, and maybe the top is in, but like at no point have I tried to make any sort of fucking call that we're going straight to 150. I gave you a very clear plan. If we hold above the all-time high level and we show strength similar to this, similar to back here, then guess what? We're bullish. If we get any sort of deviation above the high and it shows weakness like this, then there's probably a pullback coming, okay? But no, I don't delete my tweets. I don't delete my fucking streams, and you sound like a fucking loser, okay? Coming in, be, oh, he's all excited on stream, and then it's going to be the top, and he's going to delete his stream. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't have any ego about this shit. I really don't, bro. I do these because I love the homies. I love helping people out. I love sharing. These are free. I have 1,000 fucking YouTube videos. That's almost as many as the Outdoor Boys, for fuck's sakes. You're gonna delete the stream. How about you delete yourself, brother? Suggestion, brother. Man, can you please chart the S&P? I love, like, people think that being wrong and, like, someone being wrong and be like, haha, you were wrong is a dunk. It's like, bro, I'm wrong more than half the time. Like, my hit rate when I'm running hot is like 50-something%. And when I'm not running so hot, it's in the 40s. But because I use and understand risk management, I'm very profitable. So, like, trying to be like, dude, he's wrong, and thinking that's a dunk, it just shows me that you don't understand anything about trading or the markets or investing in general. If I was right 100% of the time, why would I tell you what I'm doing? Hey, man, can you please chart the S&P? Yes, I think it comes here possibly. Right now, we're on demand. So it either bounces from here to 6,000, or if it loses this level, I think it gap fills 5,700. I'm sketch in 43 years when he's the same age as me, which is like 68. Never delete yourself. Never. Never do it. I'm just kidding. Sometimes people come in here and they talk shit, and I love a little fucking chirping. I love a little banter. But then sometimes they say something mean, and I overreact, and I just annihilate them, and then I feel bad afterwards. Like, you remember Link Marine last fucking couple streams ago? I went way too hard on the boy, and I haven't seen him since. I went way too hard on Link Marine, and we haven't seen him since. Yassine says, Main, stop ignoring me and chart Iberi? This? What is this? IBRI? Or IBRL? This? You want me to chart the Ibero-American Lithium Corporation? This is what you want me to chart? Or is it an altcoin and it's not on TradingView? Tips for how to run a dollar count up to $1 million. Fucking take that $1,000, go buy yourself a challenge at a prop firm like mine, Breakout, or another one, and take advantage of leverage. Because trying to systematically turn 1,000 into $1 million is going to be very hard, unless you're willing to just go all in and try and double up multiple times. So you put all in on one trade, trying 2x, 3x, all in again. That's the only other way. But if you're trying to do it systematically, like you have $1,000 and you're going to risk 2% to trade, it will take you for fucking ever. Oh, is this the thing that I know Ponzi shilled it? And And I know that, like, I think a bunch of people tweeted about it. I have no idea what this coin does, so just keep that in mind. What do I think about this? I wish someone told me to buy it here. That's my thoughts. Otherwise, I have no idea what this does. I know I saw Ponzi tweet about it. I don't know who else tweeted about it. Like, it's got demand here. As long as it holds here, it probably makes another leg higher. If it loses this, it probably retraces this candle. That's all I got for you, dog. Now, please don't die. I'll miss you. It's because I'm old and I struggle to keep up with the banter. Listen, I might be old, but I've got vitality. I might be old, but I'm young at heart. I still got that dog in me. He's just old and deaf and blind at this point. He's just fucking barking at everyone. He doesn't even know what's going on. ENA, okay, relax. Do I do shitcoin streams? Now I just do these streams in general. This is definitely not ENA. Now I just do these streams in general. I don't like do the fucking specific shitcoin ones. I've just been doing I've been doing mad bear streams, bro. Like ENA's like it's fine, bro, but like you know, this is took out last quarter's low and it still hasn't really pumped. So the tricky thing with something like this, right? So you have a clear invalidation. It's an over-under. Low, lower low, higher low. So if you're bullish on ENA, there's your stop. You know where you're wrong, right? The question is this, and this is one of the trickiest things to know in trading, is this a laggard or is it just a piece of shit? Right? So is this coin going to get a sick pump? It's just lagging right now. Or is it just a piece of shit and it's going to underperform? And the best way to predict that is by looking at it versus other coins. So does this look interesting? Kinda. So you might say, okay, ENA BTC is probably due for a bit of a bounce. It's back above these old lows here. And if it can hold this, then maybe it's going to look good, right? Can I look at ENA ETH? Same thing with ENA ETH, right? Looks like it's starting to potentially form a bit of a low here. So this might be an instance where it's a lagger. But just because a coin hasn't pumped yet, it doesn't mean it's a laggard. And in my opinion, you're much better off playing strength. Like, focus on strength. It's way easier to long the strong coins than it is to try and predict what coins might catch up. Does that make sense? Spoiler alert, most coins are pieces of shit. That is not a spoiler alert. That's something that everybody knows. Hype BTC looks the exact same as hype dollar. Oops. It's the same chart. It's the exact same chart as the hype dollar chart. So if you do this and then you go here and you do this, right? Like this is the same. It's the same fucking chart basically. Right? Like this is slightly more bullish, but to me, these charts are almost identical. They bottomed in the exact same way, basically. So yeah, the fact that this might break out here probably means that, oh, I'm looking at XRP. I was like, why aren't these looking the exact same when they should? There we go. It's basically the same chart. This is actually leading slightly, but they're almost 1 for 1. Hello, can you teach us how to figure out the demand zone? I have done dozens of videos covering exactly that. So if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to the education playlist, you'll see I have a video called Order Blocks. It's one of my most viewed videos, and I show you exactly how to do it. Reduce the resolution. It's 4K 30p, I think, but I'm going to have my video guy come over and figure it out. That's why I pay him the big bucks. Ticker is CRV. I do like the CRV chart, to be honest with you. I've talked about this on fucking dozens and dozens of streams at this point, but I like the CRV Bitcoin setup. So we have this big low here that's starting to form, and then on the monthly, we have effectively, right, like a potential higher low here. So this to me is an interesting looking chart. Like if your altcoin is here and it's making lower lows versus Bitcoin, bad. But if it's making higher lows, that might be a signal that, hey, this altcoin, maybe it hasn't pumped yet, but it's going to. A really good example of the opposite, I believe, is TIA. So Chris Bernisk, for some reason, or Bernisky, whatever the fuck his name is, should change his name to fucking retardio, has been just endlessly shilling this. Now, both of these are down massive versus Bitcoin. But the key difference here is this looks like it's starting to potentially reverse, whereas this is just continuing to make new lows. So this might be an instance where CRV is lagging and TIA is just dog shit. You know what I mean? So I actually liked Chris Bernisk's fucking thoughts. Like I thought he was, made good posts. Flashbang, sorry. I thought he made good posts and he had good ideas and stuff. And he was always like macro, super bullish Bitcoin guy. But he's he's hitched his wagon to this TIA horse, and it's just like, bro, like he couldn't have been more wrong. There's so many coins that have done so amazing. And yes, this had its crazy run, but this was just like more insider VC fucking gobbledygook. And he just hitched his fucking horse to this, and he's like, ride or die, motherfucker. And it died. And he's really, really, I think, hurt his credibility and his reputation because of it. What is jelking? Stop saying that. It sounds gross. Shit. Oh no, I forgot to say goodbye to my wife. And now I'm sad. You don't think that POS TIA can go? It can. But the point is like, why would I try and call bottom on this until it gives me some clue that it might bottom? So you could argue, okay, it's taken out that monthly low and it's holding here. But the BTC pair is still going down. I'd be much more interested in longing this if the BTC pair wasn't literally making new all-time lows like every single day. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean it can't go up, but I would rather wait for some, clue. Stop saying jelking. You guys are grossing me out. We can look at Pepe. I'll do a couple more, guys, and then I'm fucking tired. I had a very busy day. And I have to get off stream at some point so I can jelk. I'm gonna regret saying that. God, this stupid camera. I buy this fancy camera so I can show off my fucking neck in fucking HD, bruv. HD, bruv. Like, the fucking quality of this camera, dude. Look at this, okay? Look at this shit, dude. Look at the quality of this camera. Is that not nuts? How it just, like, brings it into focus? I'm not trying to flex on you with this vintage, hand-painted enamel dial Audemars Piguet with multiple complications, including a moon phase. Again, hand-painted enamel dial, solid gold. I'm not trying to flex on you. I'm just trying to show you how good quality the camera is. I'm not... The watch is irrelevant. I just want you to see the quality of the camera. I just want you to see the quality of the camera. And I mentioned that it's hand-painted, meaning each dial is completely unique because it's hand-painted. But what a cool camera that is, isn't it? Anyways, yes, I jelk with it on. It's the Sony ZVE1. I'm not going to flex on you guys with a bunch of crazy watches. That'd be fucking stupid. Unless I do one of those fucking watch videos. You know? I'm Ziv the watch guy. Can I see your watch? Like, shut the fuck up. Fucking nerd. Okay. Someone wanted to see Pepe. See, the longer the streams go, the more fucking autistic I get, and just the more dangerous it is that I just say something insane. So we got to just be fucking mindful of that as we get into the wee hours of the stream. I might just come out and say something that is very bad. Very bad. Not nice. Okay. Pepe. So if I wanted to long this high time frame, I would be setting stink bids here. And you might be like, oh, Trader Main, that's 30% below price. Oh, Trader Main, that's like, it's never going to come down there, Trader Main. Oh, man, Trader Main, why would I set fucking stink bids so low? They're called stink bids because they're so low and stinky. They're like down in the fucking sewer, okay? I'm not saying it's going to pull back 30%. It might not. But if it does, and you get one of those crazy moves like this, where within a week later it's fully rallied again, you're never going to be ready for it unless you mark out those levels on your chart and at the very least set alerts. Because let's assume for a second that Bitcoin pulls back from 109K to 100K, a 10% pullback, which is completely plausible and it can still go up after. You bet your ass Pepe could pull back 30% and then fully revert. Okay? All of these altcoins are unbelievably reflexive. Look at Fartcoin, dude. This right here is a 20% pullback. This, almost 30%. This, almost 30%. So these altcoins, Pepe included, right, can have huge pullbacks while they go up. So let's go look at the daily chart here. Like this is one of those instances here, for example. Let's go back here to this fucking first run up here. Where like Pepe, fuck off, you piece of shit. Okay, that's almost a 30% correction. Just this little pullback there. Look at this correction. 40%. So I'm not saying it's going to do that, but if Bitcoin gets a decent correction, you want to mark these high time frame levels, because when you see people post those crazy knife catches and it does this, and then like a day later it's back above making new highs, you're like, how the hell did they do that? It's by being prepared. Okay? Anyways, that's high time frame. I would have alerts at this level just in case. But on the low time frame, a lot of coins look the exact same to me. They all are consolidating on top of 12-hour demand. So as long as this holds, assume higher. If it loses it, we're probably getting a larger market-wide correction. Right? Look at what Bitcoin did before it broke out. Right? It was the exact same thing. Consolidating on the H12, and then bang. It did the same thing back here. This PA right here looks the same as Pepe does right now. So as long as it's holding the demand, expect higher. And yeah, that's... Oh, no. Did I fuck it? No! I lost all my levels. God damn it. Mother trucker. Let's see if I do this. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. Oh, baby. I saved it. Or no, I didn't. They're gone. No. Okay. Well, oh well. Whoever made me look at Pepe and fucking consequently lose all my levels, I hope you fucking step on a rock and it really hurts. So, yeah. As long as it holds this, I think it looks okay. Anyways, guys, this is an hour-and-a-half long stream. I'm fucking tired. I don't know how the Twitter streaming works. It says that there is 10,000 fucking viewers right now. It's just been climbing nonstop for the last hour and a half. I don't assume that's accurate, but we've got 700 on YouTube. We've got another 50 or 60 on Twitch, and then however many on Twitter. So if you're new to the streams, I've been doing this 3 times a week for fucking 7 years. So if you like a little bit of having fun, learning a little bit of something, shooting the shit, I do these right now. I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I usually stream around the daily close. So if you like these videos, leave some likes, leave some comments, interact with my fucking shit. Let me shill you my wares and you fucking buy my wares, okay? Imagine we're at a fucking market somewhere in the Middle East and I'm selling you a rug. Buy my fucking rug. That's probably a bad example. Anyways, appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, these videos stay up on Twitch and YouTube. So if you missed it, you want to rewind it, go ahead and watch it over there. If you got any questions about anything I do, check the description on YouTube. Telegram links in there. Discord links all free. And that's it, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out. I'm going to figure out my camera thing before Friday's video. Goodbye.